Bulls take on the Stormers in the North-South derby tomorrow, and it's lined up to be an absolute beauty. The Springboks are back for both sides. Both sides are in great form, and to add some more drama, they're also battling out for the South African Shield. As you can see, I'm not in my normal setup because we've traveled up to Pretoria to cover the game. That video will probably be out on Sunday. But in this video, we're going to cover my preview. We're going to go run through the lineups, and then I'm going to give you my prediction for what I think is going to happen in the Bulls versus Stormers game tomorrow. As always, make sure to let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Hit that like button and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything that we're posting. First of all, let's run through the Bulls lineup. They've gone with Gerrit Steenkamp at 1, Johan Grobler at 2, and Wilco Louw at 3. I wasn't sure if Wilco Louw was going to be fit for this game. Clearly he is. That's a very, very strong front three. The Bulls dominate up front, so those three in the scrum, it's going to be good to see them getting a couple of penalties. Then the locks is a bit of a surprise, and I'm going to explain why it's a bit of a surprise and why the Bulls have gone this way, but they've gone for Ruan Vermaak and Ruan Nokia in at locks. Now, Ruan Vermaak hasn't typically been starting for the Bulls. It's been Reinhard Ludwig who's been starting in that lock position, but Reinhard Ludwig has now moved to flank alongside Marco van Staden, and Marcel Coetzee is playing 8. That is because Cameron Hanekom is injured. He will not be taking part in this game. I was thinking that if Hanekom wasn't going to start, then Gumede would definitely be in at that number 8, but as you'll see, Gumede is on the bench. So they've gone with an interesting call of putting Ludwig in at the flanker role. Marco van Staden is obviously the first choice there, and then Marcel Coetzee, who normally plays flank for the Bulls, will start at number 8, probably just going for that experience over the youth of Gumede. Then the back line is pretty typical to what you would think the Bulls would line up with, maybe except for the exception of Devin Williams. But 9, Embrose Papid, he's been absolutely tearing it up for the Bulls in the URC. He's probably the best scrum off in South Africa at the moment on form. Number 10, we've got Johan Goosen, just experience. He's going to run that back line. He's been playing very, very well, and his boot has been operating. 11, Kanan Moody, just a wonder kid. He's going to light the field up. He's been having a great season as well. David Creel brings a little bit of stability in that 12 top. He can also light the field on fire. He can make something out of nothing. So very excited to see what David Creel does. Stephen Gaans, probably one of the most underrated 13s at the moment. We knew he was going to be starting. Then 14, Kurtley Arendse. I mean, there's not much we can say on Kurtley Arendse. He's number 1 choice for the Springboks, so why wouldn't he be number 1 choice for the Blue Bulls? Then 15, I thought Willie Leroux would be starting for the Bulls here. Devin Williams, obviously a very, very good player. We saw him play for the Pumas coming up in the Currie Cup, and now he's transferred over to the Bulls. But I would have thought that they would have gone for Willie Leroux, a little bit more experience, just a bit of a cooler head under a very, very big atmosphere that Loftus is going to be at. Sold out. It's going to be an absolute thumper. Then on the bench, they've gone with Akafana Mava. Nice experience. He also gives you that bomb squad feel coming off the bench. He's an impact player. And then just running through the other front row, Simpiwe Matanzima, also been having a good season. He's been starting. He starts a couple of games, but he is regularly on the bench. Then Klopper, also a bit of an interesting call, but I mean, I like it. Then J.F. van Heerden comes in on the bench. He will fill in for a lock role there. That's just because Ludwig has moved over to flank, so Ruan Vermaak won't be on the bench anymore. He gets moved up there. And then interestingly, they've gone for Nizam Kar again. One of those guys who are going to bring experience. This is why I thought Willie Leroux would be starting. So that's a bit of an interesting pick for me. I didn't think they would go with him. Then, obviously, Zaki, number 9, coming in. They're going with him above Johannes, which is, again, an experience call. Zak Burger is also a very, very good impact scrum off. Then Willie Leroux on the bench. He's going to come on in the 50th, 60 minutes and try and drive the game home for the Blue Bulls. And then Gumede, who's absolutely phenomenal, number 8, is also going to come off the bench, be a have a big impact on the game. I'm a bit upset that he's not starting, but then moving on to how the Stormers lined up. Now, in our prediction lineup video a couple of days ago, we predicted the exact lineup for the forwards at the moment. So Sittol in number 1, Joseph Dweba in 2, and then Nettling Forshire in 3. They did have the option of bringing Frans Malhoba in. He is back, but I see he's not even on the bench, so maybe he's not fully fit. Nettling Forshire has been in great form though, so I have absolutely no problem with him starting. Then Andre Smith and Ruben van Heerden, pretty stock standard locks for the Stormers that have been playing the entire season. 6, Deon Fourie back from his mandatory rest. We saw him have a great World Cup. He's going to bring that experience. He is captaining as well. So Deon Fourie will be a very, very vital player in this game. Ivan Ruiz at number 7 and Achiva Diamani at 8. Those two could switch roles. Doesn't really matter. Achiva Diamani is so explosive. Ivan Ruiz is that front man. He's going to try and meet the Bulls' physicality. Then again, there's been a lot of chatter about how the Stormers were going to line up in the backline, bringing back all the Boks, Marnie Lebok, Damian Willem. So who is going to start? Who is going to get benched? Number 9, they've gone for Herschel Yankees. Again, just a little bit more of experience. Number 10, Marnie Lebok. We know how good Marnie Lebok is. We know how good he's been in a Springbok jersey. If he's on form, the Bulls are going to have a lot of trouble to try and defend him. Then at number 11, we thought they were going to go for Leon Zas, and that's exactly what they did. Zas in at 11. I like that. Then 12 and 15 was the pivotal positions here. Was Damian Willemse going to play 12 or was he going to play 15? Was Warwick Galant going to miss out or was Sasha Mgumazulu going to miss out? Well, Damian Willemse is playing 12, which I do like. I think he's got a little bit more control over the game at 12 than he does at 15, which is going to cause the Bulls a whole lot of trouble because Damian Willemse is probably one of the best players in the world at the moment. Then 13, they've gone for Dan du Plessis. Another experience call. They could have gone for Hudson back, but I see he hasn't even made the bench. So, I mean, obviously Dan du Plessis is the form player at the moment. He brings a little bit more experience. Then number 14, Ben Loader. Another sort of relatively unknown wing that's been having a good season for the Stormers, so I like that. And then 15, Warwick Galant, who's also been having a phenomenal season. He's great under the high ball. He can break the line. He's dangerous on counter-attack. And you add him in with Zas, with Damian Willemse and Marnie Lebok, then that Stormers backline is looking very, very dangerous. Then let's just run through the bench really quick. Andre Hugo Venter, Brock Harris, Sazi Sandi, Salman Murat, who's back from injury. He's going to be a handful when he comes off the bench. Ben Jason Dixon, who's sort of their utility forward, can play lock, can play flank, can play 8. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use him. Then Marcel Tiersen makes it above Engelbrecht, which, I mean, either or really for them. Then number 9, Paul de Vet, and then obviously Sasha Mgumazulu misses out, but he is on the bench as sort of that utility back. As you can see, both sides have gone with a 6-2 split, so it's going to be very forward dominant. We know the Bulls like to maul. We know they like to scrum, so the Stormers are trying to counter that by also playing a 6-2. So how do I see this game going? Well, the Bulls are clear favorites when you look at the bookies, when you look at everyone's predictions, but I just don't understand how the Bulls can be favorites. The Stormers have beaten the Bulls their last 7 encounters. They have all their Springboks back. Damian Willemse, Marnie Lebok can change a game just on their own. Then you put Deon Fourie in the mix there, Herschel Yankees in the mix there. I mean, Stormers have a very, very good lineup. They're also in great form, both teams with 4 wins from their last 5 games. Yes, people are saying Bulls are the more in-form side and probably a little bit more dangerous in the forward department, but I think this is a very, very even game. I honestly think this game's going to go down to the wire, and whoever wants it more is going to get it. I think it's going to be within a couple of points. There's going to be a last-minute penalty, but for me, I'm going to back the more informed side here, the Bulls, and I'm going to go Bulls by 2. As always, let me know what you guys think of the lineups. Give me your predictions down in the comments, and as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss our video coming out on Sunday. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.